Hi, I'm David Davis from ActualTech Media. We're here live at VMworld 2018. I'm excited to be joined by Mr. PJ Kirner. He is the CTO for Illumio. How you doing, PJ?
Good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you on again. I've been learning a lot about Illumio, but I bet there's a lot of companies out there, a lot of IT professionals who aren't quite familiar yet with who Illumio is. So let's start off with that. What is Illumio and what problem do you all solve?
Yeah, the short version is we help enterprises segment and visualize through application dependency maps their data centers and clouds to help prevent lateral movements and breaches inside their environments.
Okay, so is this microsegmentation? Is that kind of the general term for it, or?
Yeah, primarily microsegmentation is the technique that we use to sort of help customers, prevent those breaches.
Okay, and when going by your booth, I know I did, and a lot of other people are getting illuminated, as you call it. And what's cool to me, being a former IT manager myself, is being able to visualize the dependencies between the different applications that are running across, hundreds or thousands of different nodes. And so, once someone is, illuminated and they have this ability to see what's going on the network, what are some of the use cases? How does that help them?
Well, first of all, I think you might bring a really good point, right? To be able to do segmentation, right, everybody starts with this application dependency map, right? Being able to visualize and understand what's going on inside an application and across applications is where everything starts. You can't segment what you can't see, right? So you have to start there. And we find a lot of customers don't have the ability to understand where they need to sort of apply the segmentation control or other security controls, so that is definitely the place you start.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, we sort of provide both those capabilities because we actually see them as very complementary. Being able to see that, see your data center, see your cloud, right? See how things are communicating, because we found that these data centers and even cloud environments, most enterprises are very heterogeneous, right? There's still a lot of bare metal, even though we're here at VMworld. There's still a lot of bare metal, a lot of virtualized environment, a lot of private cloud, public cloud. So being able to have a map across all of those things and be able to sort of provide segmentation policy across all those things is critical to our customers.
Okay, so first I can visually see what's going on,
yep.
And then I can take action. I can microsegment, I can secure the communication between certain systems and better lock down the network. Is that how it works?
Right, and there's both detection, capabilities and prevention capabilities. So segmentation clearly falls into the prevention capabilities, but with the Illumio platform, you can provide those policies, and if there is a breach of policy, you can also send those things to your SIM, and your SOC can sort of handle them as well. So there's both detection and prevention, so you can get both those things.
Yeah, being a former IT manager, what we had to do was disaster recovery. This for a certain set of applications, and understanding the service dependency, what was required to make those applications work was really eye-opening, and we had to do it manually, really.
Well, yeah, and that's the other point, being able to have dynamic segmentation. Like what we do is the policy actually will follow the workloads either to a disaster recovery site, or whether you're doing your platforming and moving to the cloud, you can have policy sort of work across all those things. And then the IT managers don't need to do all that manually. They can let our PC, our brain, accomplish that.
Yeah, I wish I had Illumio back then. So what's new with Illumio? What's happening?
So one of the things we recently announced was this concept around vulnerability maps, right? And we've partnered with Qualys, and we have APIs to be able to have other vulnerability feeds sort of in part. We are not vulnerability management. We're letting the best of breed vendors work there. But what we do is we take those vulnerabilities and put them onto the map. So first of all, you can see them, and then you can understand their exposure. So for example, a vulnerability, you could have a medium vulnerability on something that is exposed to your entire data center, or you can have a vulnerability that is exposed to just one other sort of workload. How are you going to prioritize your patch management? Well, one with the vulnerability, the higher exposure score is what you should prioritize. So we're helping people in their vulnerability management programs by giving this extra lens. And then you can use segmentation also as a compensating control as well, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, so maybe I don't need to patch maybe a critical tier 1 system. If I can lock it down with Illumio, is that the idea?
Well, exactly. You might have you might not need the exposure, right, that you have, and you could ring fence that critical application, and then reduce its exposure, and then because you're absolutely right, it's hard to patch things. Right? That is the what you need to do, but you can't do all of those things immediately. So you got to sort of figure out what compensating controls are available.
Yeah, and with a click, I'm guessing I could take immediate action and lock down the network communication on that host.
Absolutely, and that's where the visibility comes into it. Like, you could do that with other segmentation controls, but the visibility allows you to confidently know that you're not going to sort of get the phone call like 5 minutes later that's from the business owner that says, oh, you just blocked my application by applying that. So having that understanding and that visibility allows you to sort of move with confidence.
Okay. And for people who visit your booth here, they get illuminated, they find out that this might really help them to solve some real challenges like we talked about. What's kind of the next step that they take? How do they try this out, or what do they do?
There's lots of assets on the website in which you can have, and there's new programs that we're going to be launching so people can explore the product. You can buy this as a SaaS offering, so we sort of manage a portion of this for yourself, or you can buy a full on-prem software version as well. So there's multiple ways to sort of buy.
Yeah, and it's all software.
All software.
So doing a POC is really easy to do.
It is really easy to do, especially with those two kind of form factors, right?
Excellent. Well, thanks for your time today, PJ.
Right. Thank you very much.